is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, Ron here at AbleSys. I'll be glad to go over the charts here and look at the buys and sells signals for that AbleTrend I gave out, and we'll take a look at some different charts. I always like to start with a stock chart because AbleTrend works the same for everything. It just depends on whatever you like to trade. And I found this chart to be really interesting because this is the S&P 500 chart, SPY. Obviously, extremely strong uptrend the past 2 months. In fact, I believe it was the most increase in 2 months in 87 years, as you can obviously see on the chart. And of course, everybody keeps saying, how could that be possible with what's going on in the economy? So it just goes to show you can't trade on feelings or emotion or your thoughts. You just have to go on the prices because that's how we get paid. Either we win or lose if it goes up or down. It doesn't matter, what anybody thinks, myself included. That's for sure. Because if I go on what I think, I'd never win, or what I expect. So that's just to go on the charts. That's what works the best. Also helps if I close a window too, and we don't hear the outside noise. But what's interesting here is the price today went exactly to the dot, the resistance dot. All right, hold on. Let me make sure this is working. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Deborah. Scott doesn't see any signals on SPY. I'm showing the chart right now, Scott. So hopefully you see that. Yeah, it looks like everything is working fine here. Let's see. Oh, this is a weekly chart. This is just a straight up weekly chart. I didn't put the monthly crosses on. I just wanted to make a point here. I mean, I can put the crosses on it, but the point that I was making was the price went exactly to the penny. It went right to the red resistance point, as you can see here. There's your resistance. The weekly, and this is the weekly chart, SPY, basically the stock market. Okay, thank you, Michael Z. And it just stopped right there. Hit that this morning and just stopped. Came back a little bit after that. Now, if it goes higher, above this 297, let's just call it 298. If it goes above a 298 and closes above 298, well, you know what? We broke resistance. Then we're probably going to go a lot higher, but we'll see. I don't make any predictions. I just go by what the charts say. So that's what's the interesting part. It went exactly to the dot. I mean, that's just scary. You say, well, what's the big deal about that? We put that dot in there 9 weeks ago. 9 weeks ago, the software said there's resistance. There's right there is the first time it came in. There's the exact same price every week, dot, 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 every week. So we started that row of dots, meaning there's a very strong resistance point. 9 weeks before it happened, AbleTrend said there's resistance there, and it went to the penny and stopped. Now, could break through it tomorrow or next week, or tomorrow's the last day of the week, so we'll see. This is a weekly chart. Obviously, if it closes above that, not just breaks through it, if it closes, let's say, above, 298, 299, 300, anywhere above that, that'd be interesting. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a buy signal, but it'd be a good sign. Let's just put it that way. But I just found it very interesting how the prices have, gone pretty much straight up, for 2 straight months, and came right to that's just really important information to know. 9 weeks before it happened. So I found that really, really cool because I always like to look at the SPY and the Qs and just see what's going on in the market. We all have, well, most people have money in, 401ks and retirement funds and all, and it's all pretty much based on the market. So, this is a good chart to take a look at and see. So I found that really super interesting. Of course, if you're on just using a daily chart, obviously that's been up for 2 months. But the point was, where is resistance? In other words, how far can this keep going? It's just like a rocket. It's just, going straight up for 2 months. And I just found it interesting how it stopped right at AbleTrend's resistance. Now, there were other indicators and everything, that had resistance in completely different places. And I was curious to see, let's see how accurate AbleTrend is going to be and see if the price slows down at that point, because that's obviously, our hidden, telling everybody that's where hidden resistance in the market is. And it went exactly, it was down like scary today, how it went exactly to that dot and bounced off of it. Now, doesn't mean it's going to go back down, because it might not. Pretty cool stuff to tell us whether there's going to be a roadblock 9 weeks before it even happened. So let's take a look at the intraday, because most people I shouldn't say most, but yeah, probably most, a little bit more than half the people day trade with AbleTrend, use it for short-term trading, and perfectly fine. You can use it for anything you like: stocks, futures, forex, short-term, long-term, swing trade. It doesn't matter. It just depends on whatever you want to do. Pretty cool stuff. So let's take a look and see. Where did my question? Oh, there they are up there. Okay, that's a different spot where they normally are. Yeah, when it says, I just didn't put the X's on there. I don't want to confuse anybody, but I tried to make it easier. I just didn't put any monthly crosses on. I just use a straight up weekly chart. That's all. Just choose a straight up weekly chart. I just didn't add the monthly, because that wasn't the point I was trying to make. The point was how the software 9 weeks before it happened went right to the dot. We'll see if it continues. That's to be determined. It might just blow right through it and keep on going higher. So this is your intraday mini NASDAQ chart, which is our favorite chart to day trade, for scalping. And Edmund's asking about scalping. This is basically what you're going to use. This is a 1 minute, 3 minute combination. And this is what we like for that. It works really, really well consistently. And let's take a look at how today's signals were. Now, and I'll get back to you in a second on that scalping. When you say scalping, Edmund, if you're really just the type that looks to get in and out, like within a minute or two, and maybe obviously load up on a bunch of contracts and just kind of get out in just a few minutes. Just look for maybe 5 or 10 points on a mini NASDAQ chart. 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 points. Yeah, what I would suggest is to go short when the price goes right to the red dot. You can even put it in order there. This is, for short-term scalping. You can even do that for even longer-term trading if you like. There's just a little bit, there's going to be more risk in that, because the bar is almost always going to be green, and then there's a good chance it could pop through that. But if you put your stop just a little bit above that, again, this is for scalping only, just for to be in the trade for a minute or two, load up on contracts and or at least trade a couple of contracts, multiple contracts. I shouldn't say load up, and just looking for a couple of points, that type of a trade. Yeah, you can short it every time it hits the red dot. If you did it here, that would be a home run right there, because it actually dropped about 50 points right after that. So if you were just looking for a short-term trade, that's kind of a cool way to do it. You can do it right here. There's another time. I'm just looking for every time it hit the red dot. Obviously, you'd go short, and right after that, it looks like it dropped about 5 points or so right there. So if you're just looking to scalp and just make a couple of points on a trade, perfectly fine way to do that. And I would only do it I would suggest doing it know, after a sell signal, which is an obvious triple confirmation sell signal here, down at one. This was a really nice trade. The first three trades today, worked out real nice, real nice. You can see here that when you had triple confirmation trade right here, as you did right here, a little after the market opened, you had three really nice trades right there. There's your two green bars. Stop goes 2 points above the top of the red bar, and then as the dots go lower, we just go to the previous higher row of red dots. So when the price was here, obviously your stop is there, the second higher row of red dots. Pretty cool stuff there. And then there's your two green bars. We put the stop 2 points above the higher of the two greens. We're stopped out there. So the first trade of the day, which was a sell signal that AbleTrend gave, we were short at 70 and we were stopped out at 51. So, it's 19 points, one lot. That's a nice little piece of change right there to start the day off. You're talking about, that's $380, and let's just call it 300. You got in a little late, you got out a little late. Slippage, there's commissions. First trade of the day. I always like to lower the actual profits on the chart, but nobody's going to nail this exactly perfect. That's impossible. So first trade over 300 points, $300 per one contract. That's a good start. Obviously, a no trade zone there. Blue and red together is a no trade zone. And if you missed the beginning of the trade, you had a sweet spot right there. If you missed it, you just got in, woke up late, whatever, you didn't take that first trade. Well, then you've got a nice sweet spot right there at 10:01 Eastern. And in a sweet spot, of course, is a bounce off the red dot. And then, the next red bar right there, the close of that bar, really the open of the next bar, which is right there, nice trade right there. Worked out nice. So that was a great start to the day. Then we had another triple confirmation trade right here, and I'll just make this full screen now. I like to take a look at the 3.9 because in the middle of the day it got very choppy. And when it gets choppy, just jump over to the 3.9 and you go, oh, wow, that makes sense. Now I see why it was so choppy. Like over here in the middle of the day, it was really choppy. And when you looked at the 3.9, well, the 3.9 was on a no trade zone. So that's why it got choppy. So sometimes, if you don't want to get too laser focused on the 1-3 chart, jump over to the 3.9. In other words, your little higher time frame. Say, okay, now it makes sense. That's why it was so choppy and sideways, because the 3.9 had resistance above and support below. So that's why it got a little choppy. And then 12:30 to 1:30, our dead zone was dead today. So, good time to hit lunch between 12:30 and 1:30 Eastern time. That's always not always, because the market, it's optional. Some days it actually works out fine, but I don't count it because that's what we call our dead zone. Pretty cool stuff. Start off the day real good. Another perfect triple confirmation sell signal right there. Let me go back to full screen. A perfect triple confirmation right there, right a little after a couple minutes after 11 o'clock Eastern. Stop goes 2 points above the top of the red bar. Now, if you can put your stops above the red dots, that's always the best place to put it. A repeat. The best place to put your stops is always a little above the red dots. But people just say, it's too far away. I can't handle that kind of risk. Okay, fine. So then you just put it 2 points above the top of the red bar. When you're at least 10 points, I use 10. You can use anything you like. That's just up to you. Everybody's different, different risk tolerance. You can use 10 points. Like some people say, hey, did you put your stop? There's the two green bars. Did you put it above it? No, it was only a 5-6 point. You're only in profit 5 or 6 points if you got stopped out there. Not good enough. At that point, we're still going to use the previous higher red dots. So you say, okay, well, how'd you do here? Well, look at this trade. This is a beauty. There's our two greens, and now we're 23 points in profit. Let's just call it 20. So 23 points in profit. I mean, I want to lock that I want to move my stop closer to the price, so there isn't as much give back on the price. So right there, you've got 23 points guaranteed. There's 2 more greens. Stop goes 2 points above. Stop that. All right, that worked out nice. I mean, it's called 20 points. So that was another 20 point, $400 winner. So you got a $400 winner here. You've got oh, there was the 2 greens right there, and we got stopped out right at the very next bar. So on this one here, we went short of 26 out of 10, 15 points. That's 300. So we got 400 here, 300 there. Well, if you want to just talk points, we've got 20 points there, 16 points here. What did I say this was? We went short at 70, and we were stopped out at 49. Call it 50. So that's 20. So 20, 20, and 15. That's a heck of a start. 55 points. That's crazy. But we gave some back. As always, there's always going to be losing trades. You know, we definitely did give some back. At the open here, you could see it was just, you know, it was just a bunch of green bars, you know, so you were in a no, you know, obviously no trade on a green. So if you wanted to really make a case, you could have gotten in here on the first blue bar there. And then technically speaking, it would be a stop out when it goes under the blue dots to the previous lower, well, same thing, yeah, previous lower blue dot. So technically speaking, yeah, the first trade of the day would if you took that trade over there, that's a tough one to trade. I wouldn't have taken that because of the green bar. You had like 5, 6, 7 green bars. Now you're really starting to chase it because of how far you are from the blue dot. I mean, you're good 20, 25 points. 20 points would be okay. But you're like 20, 22 points from the blue dot. That's a chase. You know, I just find chasing doesn't work so good on that. I mean, I want to get it now. If it was the first triple confirmation bar, fine. But it was a continuation from, you know, from well, what here when the right around a little after 9 o'clock, which would have been stopped out anyhow right there. So if anybody got in pre-market, that was only a break-even trade. So, Nick, why didn't you take the sweet spot after the open? There was no sweet spot after the open, Nick. There's no blue bar. No, sir. Sweet spot's a blue bar, you know, on top of or very close to the blue dots. These were all green. No trade. We enter on reds, on short for red, you know, obviously. Blue is up, red is down. Now, when I talked about scalping, because one trader just asked for scalping, meaning just wants to make a couple of points, hit and run, then you can short there on the red dot, short it here on the green, on the red dot here. I would only do it the first time when a new signal comes in. Like you say, well, why not over here and here? I would just do it on the first time. The more times it hits the red dot, the greater the chance it's going to blow through it and go above it. So there was the first time you would have been a winner right here, would have been a winner. Again, just for short-term scalping. Never hit the red dot here. Oh, here you could do it. That would have been a losing trade because it turned around and it blew right through it. Right there, you can go long, and that would you got your 3 or 4 points right there because it bounced off of the blue dots. So, you know, for scalping, that's what I would do if you're just looking to scalp it. And then we had a couple losing trades, so I want to make sure I point that out because it's not all about winners only. I can guarantee you that there'll be losing trades. You can count on that. There's a triple confirmation buy signal, and we lost a couple of points on that trade because, oh, actually here, we're stopped out right there. There's the previous lower small blue dot. There's only, you know, 3 or 4 points on the loss, but, you know, it was a losing trade. You know, here's your obvious, you know, no trade zone because you're in, well, your dead zone, I should say. But there was another losing. Oh, here was a losing trade right here. This was a valid buy signal. Blue bars, blue dot, blue cross. 1 minute and 3 minute agree. The price closes above the red crosses. So even if it was flashing at that point, because the crosses have 3 minutes to decide. It's a 3 minute signal. The 1 minute bar is final and will never ever change after 1 minute. So you can see over here, that's a valid buy signal there. Turned around, stopped out. Stop goes right. Well, either way, it's the same place. We're stopped out because we're out on the red bar with the red dot. So we lost 5 or 6 points on that trade right there. Now, that was a winning trade, but there's just no way you could have picked this one up. There's just no way. It moved down too fast. So even though it was a winning trade, I would think that'd be a pretty difficult one to get in, because there's your two green bar stop out. But I'm not even going to count that, even though the signal, obviously everything was red, means short. It's going to go down. Well, that is what happened. But in real time, real life trading, that's what this is about. It's about very serious trading. We have thousands of clients who very serious and do this every day. So that's what this is all about. This is not about. I mean, it's great that you always want a sim trade to start out, but even though the software everything was red, means it's going to go down, and it did. I'm not even going to count that, because that went down so far, so fast. It was a difficult one, and it was 2:30 Eastern. That's when, and you got to keep up on when the Fed is going to speak. That's really important, because the market goes nuts when the Fed, anybody from basically when Powell speaks. And at 2:30 today, he was going to speak, and that's exactly when he did. And that's when the market went kind of crazy here, down, up, down, up. And again, winning signal by the software, I'm not going to count it, because it would have been too tough to get in at that time. Obviously, no trade zone here, and the software is going to tell us when not to trade. That's so important, knowing when not to trade. It's going to be choppy and sideways. And boy, good thing we weren't in this mess, because nobody could have won there. I mean, that was just a ugly, choppy mess right there. Okay, and then there was I thought it was a loot. No, I guess it wasn't. Right at the end of the day. Oh, here it was. Yeah, there was a losing signal right there. That's a triple confirmation sell signal, and we'd have been stopped out right there, because it went above 2 points above the top of the red bar, and we would have been stopped out on that trade right there. Winning trade, small winning trade toward the end of the day. Actually, it wasn't small. It was a lot bigger than I thought. But as it turns out, that's really toward the end of the day. Again, winning signal for the software. Here's the 3 minute signal, says to go short. Here's the 1 minute signal, it's red, it says to go short. Here are the red dots. Stop goes 2 points above the top of the red bar, never hit it. In fact, it went down, and right there is the 4:15 close. But you want to be out before it close, that's for sure, because otherwise you're going to wind up holding it overnight and margin calls. So again, the software picked this out, not even going to count it, because it was at the end of the day, and it was too tough to pick that up. It was too close to the end of the day, so I'm not going to count it. But signals been great. Mike Z, listen to your advice, entering by the 3 minute crosses, got in long 2 points above the 3 minute support at the bottom of the bar, and it took until 2 green bars, 94, 95. Let me see. It looks like there's more you wrote here. Oh, that's it. Okay. Yep. That's correct. That's correct. How to add the countdown clock? Yeah, there's a countdown clock now, as you can see. All you have to do is go to the website and just re-download AbleTrend onto your computer. Close AbleTrend, and then re-download AbleTrend onto your computer from our website, ableSys.com. Click download on the top of the page, and when you re-download it, you'll have a little clock there. If you're looking at a 1 minute chart, it'll count down to the 1 minute. If you're looking at a 3 minute, a 10 minute, a 30 minute, it'll count down 30 minutes if you're looking at a 30 minute chart, whatever you like. We've added that for everybody, so you can just download it right at the website. Mike says, what's the average loss upon entry? 6 to 10 points, I'd say. The average gain is about 3 times that amount, but the average loss is about 6 to 10 points. Just depend, every day is going to be different. So the risk reward is the key, and that's why it's so consistent, works so well over all these years. But there's definitely, and I keep repeating, there's risk in trading, and you'll definitely have some losing days. Obviously, a lot more winning days if you're very disciplined, trade with zero emotion, no feelings and no emotion, and you just trade like what the charts say to do, almost like you're just a robot. You'll do fantastic if that's the case. Easier said than done, because we all have emotion. And that's why day trading is just not for everybody. And that's okay. Just do more longer term. Longer term swing trade stocks or position trade stocks. A lot less stress if that's what works for you. I explained that, Nick. It looks like Steve, I explained that. I explained Nick. I meant your first short trade. Okay, first short trade. Rick is asking about the first short trade, which I went over, so I guess I probably answered that. There's your triple confirmation. There's your red X, which is your 3-minute sell signal. There's your 1-minute sell signal. You wait for that bar to finish. This way it's final. You're under the blue crosses, which means you're under the blue support point. You broke down under support, which is great. You busted below support. You've got resistance above for the 1 minute. You got resistance above for the 3-minute. Nailed it. Perfect. Down it goes. Okay, I talked about why we didn't take the sweet spot. Well, actually, we did take the sweet spot. Yeah, if you did, missed it or whatever, there's your sweet spot right there. Yeah, perfect sweet spot right there. Red bar, there you go. Okay. Monday's Memorial Day. That's correct. There's no trading on Memorial Day. Absolutely not. The market might even be open, but no, I wouldn't suggest it. I mean, the stock market's closed, that's for sure. Futures market could be a half a day. Not even sure. That's a day off. Don't get many days off, so that's a day off for sure. Okay, Michael. Yeah, understand that. Yeah. 2 points away, got in on 1 point below. Good job, Mike C. Yep, on the 1030 trade. Good job. Nick, you're welcome. 1030 short had high risk. Let's see. Let me. Where are we? Here we are. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah. That's a high risk trade, but the VIX is at 30. I mean, you're going to have some long bars there, so that's okay. If you missed that one or you skipped that one, perfectly fine. When in doubt, do nothing. Perfectly understandable. The countdown clock is just for our platform, not the NinjaTrader platform. NinjaTrader is a separate platform. You'd have to, you're using their platform, that's fine. You get our indicators inside of NinjaTrader, but that's a completely different platform. Our platform, we can add things, take away things, and we can do what we want. So that would just be for our platform. They might have something in NinjaTrader too. I don't know. You'd have to check with them. The 9-minute X is final after 9 minutes. That's an easy one. The 3-minute cross is final after 3 minutes. Every signal given with the 30-minute, if you're looking at a 30-minute chart or a 30-minute cross or that's final after 30 minutes. But it doesn't matter. You have to wait for that to finish. Like I said, when the first blue red cross comes in, as long as the bar closes, the 1-minute bar closes under the 3-minute support X, it's a trade. There are no X's every 3 minutes because after 1140, yeah, there was no resistance at that time. What does that usually mean? It means the prices are going to go sideways. There are no crosses there because there was no support. Remember, the blue cross means there's a strong wall there that's going to block it from going lower. So if in this case right here, you didn't have red or blue, what does that mean? It means the prices are going to go sideways. So that's why we did not enter long here. There was no long or short. It means do nothing. There's too much risk. We only trade low risk. AbleTrend only gives out low risk valid trades. We don't trade high risk. What version is the new download? It's the latest version, Michael. We just put that on a couple days ago. So the clock gives you, the clock is the most, this new clock right here would be the most accurate. Oh, and Sid says he has an engine, he has a clock. Okay, great. So there you go. Somebody asked earlier about that. Isaiah, you can, if you download again, you get the clock, the countdown clock. This is a live chart we're looking at right now. You can see the NASDAQ is shooting up higher because at 6 o'clock Eastern, it opens back up again. Let's take a look at this. This is a live signal right there. Obviously, there's some good news because it's going higher, but the market's in the strongest uptrend in 87 years the past 2 months. So it only goes down, and you probably, anybody who day trades notices this. It goes down for, 5 minutes. It goes up for half an hour. The buy signal's extremely strong. It's like a powerful engine. It's just like a rocket ship. So looking at this live right now, yeah, this is the countdown clock. See, there's 50, new bar started, and this is a 1 minute bar. So you got 52 minutes, 51 seconds, 49, 48, and so on. So there's your triple comp. We were trading this live, which this trade came in 10 minutes ago. You can see there's your triple confirmation buy signal. Blue bar, blue cross, you got the 3 minute cross, and now you've got the 1 minute price bar. At the open of the next bar, regardless of the color, the open of this next bar, which would be right there, there's open, that little line that sticks out, you're going to hit the buy market button. So if we were trading this right now live, we'd be doing okay. We'd be up about 7 or 8 points. And the stop loss would be right there. Second lower level of blue dots below the price. Not the first one, the second one. So we can't lose on this trade because we're in at 73. We'd have a stop at 76. We're guaranteed 3 points. Now the market doesn't move much at all at this point, but this is cool that we're looking at this live. There's your live trade at the moment. Now we move to stop a little higher. Now we've got the stop at 77. We've just locked in 4 points guaranteed. And we'll continue to, go. That's how we manage our risk. And this is kind of cool. We'll look at this live, and that's why it's blinking and moving. This is a live moving chart. So when this bar closes, it's got to be final. Got 30 seconds left because the dots are going to move. The dots never go lower. Once they lock in and they're final, they never, ever go lower. They only go up. Blue dots, I'm sure you're not telling you something you haven't seen 1,000 times already, but blue dots can only go higher. Red dots can only go lower once they lock in. Chris, how do you change the clock color? I have no idea, Chris. I don't know if you can. I don't know. All right, I think we answered everybody. Thanks for being here, everyone. Have a good holiday 3-day weekend, and we'll see you back here on Tuesday. Stay safe and have a good night.